Hey there, Bob. Uh, so this is my video submission for the fourth element of the first course, and this one is based upon the idea of creating something that's the students that's bigger than the students, right? Implementing a project in the classroom designed to enhance student self-actualization or connection to something greater than self. And so I'm highlighting this then. One of the playlists that we went through last year was this one is a Making a Difference playlist. I made three Making a Difference playlists, and this is one of them that we did around Christmas time. This was How Can I Make My Community a Better Place? Um, and so we started off by doing this as an anchor chart, as an anchor playlist for two different articles. One was Surviving Hurricane Sandy, and the other one was I Was Homeless. And both of them were all about how we can help our community out and how there are people out there who are helping their community out. Surviving Hurricane Sandy, this one here was about a girl who hooked up kids who had lost some things during Hurricane Sandy with people who wanted to donate toys. And this one was about a boy who was living in a homeless shelter and also had to go to school at the same time. And so the students were definitely moved by both stories, especially since I think some of them can relate to more so the homeless thing. My students have definitely in the last, I guess even the last 10 years that I've been here, but the kids in this population really understand that. I think a lot of them have been in that area. I've had students who were homeless before, so I think it's something easy for them to understand. And so we started off by reading these, and of course I tied them to standards. I was trying to we did some close reading questions on these ones. I tied it to point of view, and so we did a lot of work with that. And as we were going, then every single day we watch CNN 10. We do this even now. We watch this. It's CNN student news, and they do a really great job of keeping the students up to current events. It's really good for that purpose alone. But what they really do is they highlight what they call CNN heroes, and they do this for I'd say at least a couple times a week, where they highlight a student or a person who's making a difference in their community, whether they're I think the last year, the big one they highlighted, the winner, they have a competition of this. I mean, they do this every single year. The competition winner was a woman who opened up a coffee shop and had all of her employees were people who had Down syndrome. And so we had all these really great models of people doing things for their community, making things better. And so we kept track of that. We started keeping track of all the people that we saw. And eventually the students, as a part of this playlist here, we were keeping track of our community heroes. So then the students went and they chose one that they wanted to talk about, and that person they want to talk about, they dug deeper. They did some research into that person, and they ended up writing a report upon that person, and then came up in front of the class and highlighted that person and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And then all the students, I thought about trying to hey, let's pick one that we want to write a letter to. And I think in retrospect, I wish we would have had the students write letters to them. I think that would be something that I would do differently. But anyway, so we highlighted that, and then the students decided that, hey, we can make a difference. And so we talked about, and I let the students kind of guide this and drive this. They decided that they wanted to do a canned food drive and a clothing drive, and we kind of compromised on that. There was a lot of people who wanted to do both, or sorry, a lot of people wanted to do just one or just the other one, and I said, we can do both. And they wanted to benefit somebody within the community. They wanted to benefit something that was close to us. And so we have an organization here in WPS called Have a Heart, which enables families of students within our district to go, and it's like a food bank, clothing bank kind of a place. And so my students organized the promotion for the whole school. They included it in the morning announcements. They hung up posters. They wrapped big boxes with wrapping paper and took them to all the classrooms. And then the mentors that I send down mentor. This is going in a whole other direction, but I have an enrichment program here where students are doing different things, and part of that is this mentorship. And so I have students go down every single day and mentor in a classroom for about a half an hour. And so the students went down and they mentored, and when they were down there, they would give the kids kudos, and they would cheer them on, and then they would grab all the canned food and the canned clothing and bring it back to the room. And so eventually, as we were getting towards the break, there were so many bags and boxes of food in the classroom. It was a really neat thing, and it was taking up the whole room. It was a lot of fun. And so then the district guys came over and hauled it all away. We ended up having a party where we just talked about the great things that they had done, a nice pat on the back for them. I would really love it in the future, probably, if I could get the students, if we could get a bus and we could take all the stuff over and the kids could help carry it into the Have a Heart. I think that would be a little more meaningful too. But this was a really great project. It was hugely successful, and I think opened the eyes. Talking to some of the students later on about it, opened the eyes for them to understand that this was a big deal. This is something a lot bigger than they are, and that this is something that they can continue to contribute to their community through. So that's my project.